my name is Liene and welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about the books I read in February. You might hear some noises because my cat is playing with a ball that has like this jingling little ball inside of it. So yeah, if you hear something, that's her. But in February, I read 8 books. I'm surprised that I read that much. But yeah, I did read 8 books and let's just talk about them. The first one I finished was Daddy Longlegs by Jean Webster. I'm showing you this edition because it's my childhood edition. It is. And I didn't read this one physically. I listened to a radio play of this one because I wasn't feeling too good. I had a headache and I just decided to return to my childhood and listen to Daddy Longlegs as a radio play. It's not the full book, but it's most of the book. One day I think I will like go side to side with the book and see which letters there are like taken out from that one, but yeah. So this one is a story about Jerusha. She's an orphan and then one day this rich guy sends her to college. And all she has to do is to write letters to him how her like study life is going, and this book is in letters. And she doesn't know who the man who sent her to college is. So yeah, it's a really nice story. Really like, what is the word? Really nostalgic for me and I just love it. And I hadn't listened to it for quite some time, so yeah, I really love that I did that. Then next book I finished was The Polar Bear Explorers Club by Alex Bell. This one is the first book in a trilogy and I really need the next 2 books to finish the trilogy because I really enjoyed this one. And this, the main character, let's see, Stella, she wants to be explorer. Her father is adoptive father, but her father. And she just wants to go on expeditions to explore the world. But in this world, explorers are only men. But one day she gets a chance to join her father on expedition, and then something happens and she's left alone with other junior explorers, like kids basically, and they have their own expedition adventure, and I really liked it. There are a lot of different mystical creatures mentioned. My favorite ones were the little dinosaurs, like dinosaurs but small. I don't know why I found them cute. There are fairies, there are like these winter kind of fairies, and there is magic and things. So yeah, it was a really lovely story about friendship, because those kids there weren't really friends at the beginning, but by the end. So yeah, I really enjoyed that friendship story here too. So yeah, really great middle grade book, and I need the next 2. The next book I read was Fable by Adrienne Young. This one is the first book in a duology. The second book comes out this year, and I'm gonna get the matching Fairy Loot edition that comes out I think in June? I'm not sure, but yeah, it's gonna have separate edges and it's gonna be this small paperback. Not paperback, hardback, but that's not the point of the book. So, and this one, Fable, she is dropped off of this island by her father and just left there to survive on her own. And all she wants to do is to get off that island and go to her father and request a place on his ships, because they like live on them, sail on them. She grew up on a ship. And yeah, then she lives on that island. She dives for gems and all different things that you can sell and earn money. And one day she makes a deal with this trader ship, and they take her to the land from the island, basically. I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed the character of Saint. Like, he's not the main character, but I want to know his backstory. It intrigued me. But yeah, I enjoyed the story. It ended on a not a good note, but that's why I need a sequel. But yeah, what else? I wanted to say something more. Oh, the fantasy element. It's a fantasy, and I was waiting for some magical creatures, some mystical elements or something, but there were none. I don't know what happened there, but why did I think there would be like mermaids or something? I don't know why I thought that, but still, yeah, I enjoyed it. I just wanted something magical. The next book I read was Zaltaburitis by Aya Mikkel. It translates as Golden Cage, and this one is a crime novel, like a detective one, and it follows this detective and how he solves the case. It starts really interestingly with a woman who is in a mental institution and she's drugged there, like, yeah, to keep her down. Like, it kind of makes you think that she's crazy. And then there is this murder of a businessman. They're both tied together somehow, and it's about, yeah, finding out who killed that. There are 2 murders actually, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. The ending was a bit rushed, but in general I enjoyed it, and if I have a chance to read her other novels, the authors in this series, I probably will pick up. I know that one just came out like this last month, I think, but we'll see if I pick it up when I pick it up. But if I have a chance, I definitely will read it. But what I like about crime novels, like thrillers, I like to guess who might be the killer. But I rarely write, and I wasn't right on this one. The next book I read was The Secret Keeper by Kate Morton. This one is a story about a woman who's trying to find out her mother's secret. She knows that something has happened at 1940s, the wartime in London, and she wants to know what exactly. So it's a story about how she finds out things, what she does, and how she does things. And then there is 2 timelines. That one when she's looking for clues and things, and then there is the 1940s and things that happened at that time. And I really liked it. I like that, like, wanting to find out what has happened in the past with your parents, grandparents, or whatever. I find it really interesting, like, because we don't know. We know maybe from the stories, but usually when we are too young, we don't listen to those stories, and then we want to know them when it's too late. And yeah, I really enjoyed that part, and it was really interesting to read about that wartime London. I've heard some things, I've read some books happening there, but I really didn't know about, like, I knew about the bombings, but like reading from the people's perspective where you are living in the city and just randomly there are planes showing up and bombing the city. It's like terrifying. It's terrifying. Why people stayed there? Why did they kept living there with that fear, but never knowing? That's what I don't know, but I really enjoyed this book, this story, and I definitely will read more books by this author. Then I finished The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. This one is a February book for Tea Leaves Book Club, and I wasn't planning to read it, but when I saw that their pick was the book I own, I decided to try to read it, and I managed to read it. And I enjoyed it, but I like the idea of that book, like traveling between parallel universes, like knowing that there are so many versions of you and your life, and they all differ in some way. They are not two like lives that are the same. And being able to travel to the world, but and you can travel only to the world that you were dead in. And I found it really, really interesting. Like I said, the idea of the book, but the execution, like the book itself, there was something missing. I was reading and I read it really fast, like in 3 days, I think, or 4. And I really enjoyed it, but something was missing. Like the world setting, I didn't really understand all the things, like how the world was built. The main one from which the characters travel to the other ones. It wasn't really clear, or I just didn't understand, I don't know, but yeah, I just didn't connect with it. But I like the main character. And yeah. And things we do, knowing some things we have done, and like drawing parallels between those universes, how our lives differ in some. That was, as I said, it was really, really great idea. I really liked it. I'm glad I read it. I didn't hate it, but yeah, something was missing for me. Then I read Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I really liked this one. I really liked it. I actually liked the writing style. It's an interview style. Like, you don't have the questions, but you have the answers. And it didn't bother me, like, at all, the writing style. I know that some people didn't like it, and I've heard that the audiobook is really great because there are multiple like actors playing like different voices for all the characters that are in here. And I can imagine that it is amazing, but I really liked it in paper format, like physical format too. And I really liked how you can see how one thing that has happened, how differently it can be seen by the people who experienced it. Like, there are 4 people experiencing one thing. Like, they are in one place, one thing is happening, but they see different things. Like, they see things differently. And how we're looking at someone, we kind of... we just expect that we know what they're thinking. Like, we look at them, we see their facial expressions, and we know what they're thinking. And then from the other side, when those people are telling what they were thinking, it's like completely different. And I found that really fascinating, and I really loved that one. The one thing that bothered me in this book was the drug use and alcohol use. I know that it's like the setting of 1970s and the rock and roll, drugs, sex, rock and roll, all is there, but yeah, it was a time, and that's just something I don't get. Still, it was really interesting to read about all those people and how their lives were. And yeah, I didn't even say, I think, what this book was about, but it's an interview style about this one time in history, about this band, the Six, and the period where Daisy Jones joined them, and they wrote an album together. And it's about how they joined together and what happened until they split up. And yeah, really, really liked it. The last book I finished was Bridges of Madison County by Robert James Waller. This one is a romantic story, and I picked this one up just because it's a small book and I wanted to read something in the last days of February, and I knew that I would finish it before the month ends. But this one is a love story, kinda. And there is a movie with Meryl Streep and Clint Eastwood. I really want to rewatch the movie because I want to know how true it is to the book. bad. So one day, this photographer, he is in Madison County to take pictures of these bridges, like, I don't know how it's in English, like where, like covered bridges, you know, from the movie if you have seen it. But he can't find this one, and then he just goes to this house that he draws by and asks where are the bridges, and that's how he meets the woman. The photographer is Robert and Francesca is the woman, and they spend 4 days together. Like, it's a love story in 4 days, and it's a bit heartbreaking because the woman is not happy. She's married, she has kids, but she's not happy. Like, she's happy, but at the same time she's not, because she's missing something in her love life. And the Robert gives her that in those 4 days. I just want to sigh because I really enjoyed it. It wasn't anything spectacular or something, but I enjoyed it. That bittersweet story of those two people, I really enjoyed it. Now I need to watch the movie. So yeah, that's it for my February reads. I'm really happy about all the books I read because I didn't hate any of them. I really didn't hate. There were least favorite ones and favorite ones, but I didn't hate any of them. So here are all my February reads, and yeah, I'm happy about it. I read quite a lot. Didn't expect to read that much, but that's good. So please talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know what books you read in February, what was your favorite book, and what was your least favorite book, if you had any. So I think my favorite book from last month was Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I really liked it. And then the least favorite one was The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. Even though I enjoyed it. But as I said, something was missing. But so yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you in the next one. Bye!